Hi everyone, it's Erin from EB Mixed Media. Today I wanted to share with you a project that was inspired by day 13 of Messy May. Messy May is an art challenge in May that is brought to us by Get Messy Art. And on day 13, Joy Malcolm was the artist who shared a technique with us. And she was creating cyanotypes as part of her page. Which is a bit of a process and it requires special stuff. And so I created a faux cyanotype page for my journal. And people seemed to really like it. And so I thought I would show how I did that. So I started out with a background. This is Apple Barrel Paints, very inexpensive craft paints. And I used Admiral Blue. And I'm actually just going to put it right on the page. It takes quite a bit. And I am going to put some paper under here to protect some of the previous pages in my journal. And I've got a pretty large brush here. I know I'm probably going to need more paint, but I'm going to dip it in water and just get it all over the page. I'm definitely going to need more paint. But the water helps thins it a little bit and just gives you a little more coverage. And so basically, you just want to get the entire page covered in a dark sort of navy blue. And it doesn't need to be perfect. You just want pretty good coverage all over the page. And I don't really care if these streaks are showing. Okay, I'm gonna dry this. Okay, this is dry now, and I have on my palette just some white gesso. You can certainly use white paint. I prefer using gesso. It's a little more inexpensive. It's a little thinner, spreads a little more easily. And you can do this with a brush if you'd like. I like to just use my fingers when I do this. So what inspired this for me, and if you've been looking at my Instagram or seen my last YouTube video, I have been making kind of wildflower bouquets or gardens from used palette paper. This one is the one I did a video on recently. And I've just been playing with it. It's just something that is, I don't know, I've found it really freeing and fun and easy to do when I don't really want to think very hard. So I was sort of inspired by this, and I was trying to sort of translate this into this. So I've got my white gesso, and I am going to just use my fingers here to do this. I'm just making, like, that's like a kind of a W there, I guess. And I'm just going to make some blobs on the page. And I'm kind of thinking of petals on flowers a little bit while I'm doing it. Thinking what florals might look like. But it doesn't really matter. You can be as sloppy or as neat as you want. But part of the fun of this is you kind of don't know what you're going to get. And that's the challenge of it, which I find fun. So some of these I'm making a little more obvious. Okay, I think that's probably enough. And then I went back in with some of my darkest blue and lightened that up a little and kind of went over it just to give a little more depth and interest to the florals. And I did it while everything's still wet. And I'm just kind of, you know, smudging around here. And it looks like a hot mess now, I know. I also have some Tuscan teal, which I don't know. I just thought about it might be fun to add another little splash of a different blue, maybe. But not really necessary. Okay, this looks like a hot mess now, but it will look better later as we go. Just trust in the process. Let's try this. Okay, that's dry now. I'm going to take my, this is a Sakura Jelly Roll pen. Sakura is spelled S-A-K-U-R-A in black. This is my preferred black pen that I use in my art journals and my artwork. And now I am just going to kind of use what I'm seeing here in these blobs of paint to suggest petals and flowers. And some of these flowers in my garden are not going to be realistic at all. They're just suggestions of flowers, shall we say. So, for example, I can see a petal there, it looks like. This is obvious. Ooh, that paint was very thick there. This is still a little wet as well. And there we have our first floral. It's kind of funky looking, but that's cool. Here I'm seeing petals coming out like so, perhaps. And if I want, I can cheat a little bit. I've got some more paint over here and I can add another petal there. I'll wait till that dries. This one I can sort of see. So this sort of looks like some kind of a lily to me. That paint is so thick. And this is one I kind of purposefully made 4 petals. And I was kind of trying to do that over here as well. So that can be an example of, you know, what is that? It's just a fun little flower. It has no basis in reality. Let's do another one similar to that. We can do one like that here. This looks like that to me. I think this could be another one of those. Ugh, I don't know what I'm not seeing here. And here I'm gonna try and make it sort of look like the petals are curved in here on some of these. All right. Oh, we forgot this one. Go back here. Add that in. Okay. Now I've got a white pen, and I do occasionally use the Sakura Jelly Roll in white, but for some reason I prefer the Signo Uniball when I use white. So that's what I'm going to use here. And I'm going to use that to do the stems, so they show up on the blue. And I've got all my flowers sort of leaning the same direction, as if, well, that one isn't, so never mind what I just said. I wish I'd done something different there. I wonder if I can get rid of this. If I can. I'd prefer it coming this way. Okay. Okay, now we can add a few leaves here and there. All right, and let's see. I can take this Posca pen, and this is in, what is this? Some kind of a aqua green, it's called. And with this, I'm just going to add some little marks. They're not even really dots, they're just marks. And this is just to give some more interest on the page with just a little bit different color. Let's start with that, and we'll see what we think. And these I just sort of outline in a squiggly white pattern. And then I do a stem, and these are like little branches with buds. I kind of feel like I want maybe, well, let's leave it like that for now. And then I have a black Posca paint pen, and for this, I'm just going to put a few dots on some of these. go back in and do just a little more work here. Now, as I said, you can be more deliberate in putting down your paint so that you get, you know, a flower shape that's easily recognizable. I sort of like the fun and the challenge of trying to find a flower in the blobs of paint. I think that's kind of fun, but it's risky. You never know what you're going to get. This is odd. That's a little bit of a weird one, but you know, whatever. And these, what are these? I don't know. Now let's finish it off though with some splatters. That's what's missing. There we go. And that's what makes it look magical. So there you have it. That is my faux cyanotype. It's fun, it's quick, and it's sort of challenging, and you don't really know what you're going to get in the end. Actually, I'm seeing things I want to fix now. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can find me on Instagram, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.